I'm David Lamb. I'm 74 years old. I live in Virginia, right next to Washington, D.C. Have been a CTCL patient for about 10 years now. I went through what I think most patients go through, and that is that the dermatologists were baffled and they didn't recognize this as CTCL. And the first dermatologist I saw told me that I should get some underpants that didn't have an elastic band. Well, there are no such things. I went on the internet, they don't exist. And then the next dermatologist said that I should change the detergent that I wash my underwear in. And so they were baffled. And the itching by then was so bad that my wife said, "You got to find a dermatologist that will listen to you." And I did in Washington, D.C., and he did a biopsy for the first time, and it came back and that I had cancer. When a biopsy was finally taken, the doctor came back to me and said, "You've got Mycosis fungoides." What a terrible name. To me, it conjured up with some giant middle-aged man coming out of a bog and dripping with seaweed. I mean, I said, "I got that? It's terrible." Now people don't seem to use that word so much. We seem to use the sort of the umbrella word of CTCL, cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. I've lived with the disease for probably 10 years now. I'm officially in remission, but it's in and out. The periods of itchiness and bad blood cells come back occasionally. So I'm doing fine. I can't complain at all. The one thing I think that's really important that I don't see mentioned a lot is attitude. And I really think the attitude you have can do as much for your recovery process as the drugs themselves. And I determined that I simply was not going to live as a patient. And I went out and I continued to live my life. I've always been very active. My wife and I continued to socialize. I put together a bicycling trip in Italy for 20 friends, and I was dragging it, but I got through it. And I knew I had a good attitude, and I think it was tremendously important. I never said, "Why me?" My response was, "Why not me?" My whole family had died of cancer, not this kind, not CTL, but cancer. My mother, my father, my brother, my sister. There's no free ride in life, and why the heck shouldn't it be my turn? I've been so healthy, I'd never had a broken bone in my life. So I never felt sorry for myself. The Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation is an advocacy group for those that have the disease that I have. They run patient forums where patients can come and talk to the top specialists in the country in this and ask them one-on-one questions. I really enjoy talking to the patients and seeing how long, where they're at in the disease and what their attitude is. I think we provide a tremendously useful advocacy platform.